Hey guys, welcome back to M&M Techtalk. Hope you're alright, and I hope you're excited for this new episode.
Hey guys, long time no here. Guys, we were a little bit unorganized last week, coming back from holidays and stuff. But if you're listening to this, we managed to organize ourselves and we just posted this new episode. So be prepared, go take a drink, some popcorns, and I don't know, scroll through Instagram because this is no video, it's a podcast. Because we have a lot to talk about.
So first of all, I wanted to say this is the third take that we're doing because the first one, Matthias accidentally stopped recording. The second one, my computer crashed somehow and the recording stopped. And now we hope it finally works.
Yeah, I
First of
really
all,
hope so.
our podcast is available on new platforms. So long we've been available on Spotify and Anchor, and of course on YouTube, where we upload it ourselves. And now we're available on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, Overcast, Breaker, Castbox, Pocket Cast, and Radio Public. Yeah, we're pretty much everywhere. Just Stitcher is still pending, but there's no excuse to not hear our podcast, even on YouTube. So go support us. Go listen to our episodes.
So, guys, second part new releases. Four mainly. First of all, new Canon kind of flagship R3, the new mirrorless 1DX alike camera,
Yeah.
which is a beast.
Yeah.
The new
Canon
GoPro
doesn't
Hero
want you to
10.
call it actually their flagship, but let's be honest, it's much better than the other one.
Yeah, it's much better than the 1DX Mark III.
Mm.
So, we also got the GoPro Hero 10, also a real beast for the
5K
size and
60
price. It's
FPS,
like,
bro. That's amazing.
yeah, you're already spoiling the audience, aren't you?
Yeah. It's to keep them hearing.
Yeah, and two of the other main releases. One actually just released today, and it's related with Apple.
So yeah.
iPhone 13 series and more Apple products have been released, and today at 7 p.m. at
German
German
time.
time
Yeah.
at least for Martin, iOS 15 was finally released.
Yeah.
This so
As
waited
well
for
as iPadOS 15,
operative system.
watchOS 8. I'm actually installing it right now. It's been like more than an hour downloading it and trying to install it, but it seems like it isn't working for me. But well, we'll see.
We hope it's just you who can download it, because otherwise we will have to blame Apple for it. And be honest.
So little interruption here from Marin from the future editing this. This was actually because of the hype that iOS 15 made. There were a lot of people downloading it, so that's why it was so slow. Just too many people downloading it from the server. That's what it slowed down. So back to the podcast.
Samsung can download and install a software update in less than
Enough,
5 minutes.
enough,
So
enough.
not to be a fanboy, but yeah. So
Yeah.
let's focus
So
now back on iPhone. Not as much on the better Samsung side, but more on the iPhone 13 series and its specs.
yeah, so we got the
Mainly
iPhone
the
13,
differences.
iPhone 13 mini, and the Pros. So the Pro normal Pro and the Pro Max. So let's start with the iPhone 13. And this iPhone we got, as you might know, a new camera alignment. Now it's diagonal, and it's revolutionary. No, many people made fun of it, but it is like that. So with that, Apple got a new sensor, a new bigger sensor with sensor shift, that's stabilization into the camera grip. Now you have
Don't forget that last year's the stabilization was on the lens, so the lens moved, but this year the actual sensor moves, so it should be better, or at least Apple states that.
yeah, well, we got bigger apertures on the lenses. We got a new processor, the A15, fastest chip that leaves the competition behind. That's what their website says. And we have a bigger battery life. So yeah,
Which is in hours, not in milliamps.
it's strange. Apple always advertises like 1.5 hours more than the iPhone 12. They tell you the function or the function more than the spec. It's like they tell you what you will get more than the actual spec, but nerds like us like to see the specs. We got 5 colors: pink, blue, midnight, white, and red. Like
As
I said
always,
before, we
product
have
red.
product red. Yeah, we got the 13 and the 30 mini with a Super Retina XDR display that now lights up to 800 nits in this iPhone and up to 1200 in HDR mode. That's very nice. And like I said before, with a bigger aperture, you have better low light performance. I don't know, I'm just getting all over the place. You'll have to follow. I'm sorry. um, and yeah. Uh, well,
Yeah,
that's
going
very
to the
organized.
Pros and the Pro Max, on the going back on the display, on the Pro and Pro Max, we get a maximum brightness of 1200 nits, that's HDR, which is pretty amazing actually for a phone this size and a screen that bright. So you can clearly use it on under the screen, under the sunlight, and you won't have any problems. And with the 460 ppi, it's not bad at all for that size. So yeah, and it's better than 1080p. It's actually 1170p, so it's a little bit longer and also so a little bit wider and a little bit longer as well.
Yeah, it's also nice to mention that now the base storage has been doubled to 128 gigabytes instead of 64 that was the normal, but now you're getting more for the same money that you were getting before, so that's nice. But still no SD card slot, as many people wishes. It's not available.
Yeah,
And
it actually goes. The good side is that it goes up to 1 terabyte on the Pro Max.
yeah,
So
but
if
it
you
will
really have
cost
a
you
lot of money on your
respectively
pocket,
more. It's a little bit
yeah, if you have a
expensive.
lot of money in your pocket, you can buy it.
Yeah,
But we will talk more about why Apple released the iPhone with 1 terabyte a little bit later.
yeah. So talking about both phones, they got better video features. They got no, they got cinematic mode. That's like portrait mode in the photos for video. You can choose which object is in focus and even choose with which aperture you want it to be. So you can control if it's more diffuse or not in the bokeh. And in the Pro model, you got ProRes video. And that's a special codec, I think, for editing and color grading better. But like Matthias said, you will need more storage because with more information you have bigger file sizes. So the 1 terabyte will come in handy in here.
Yeah. Another pretty good part of these camera lineups is that actually the ultra wide lens doubles as a macro lens. So
Oh yeah,
not as other companies who puts and a special lens for micro photography. They just use the ultra wide angle lens to double as a macro photography, who
Yeah.
really nobody uses. But if you ever want to, you can.
Well, and actually the wide angle lens now got stabilization too on the Pro, and bigger aperture than even on the normal 13. You got, I think, an f1.6 aperture, so you can take better low light photos with all three cameras. And yeah, the telephoto now, instead of being, I think, a 2.5 times optical zoom, it's a 3 times zoom, so that's an upgrade. And the notch got on both phones smaller.
But only 20%, not
Yeah,
much.
but
We
it's
still have
still
a
smaller than before.
notch.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's still a notch. Let's not forget that.
yeah.
While other phones don't have a notch, this one has. But yeah,
Yeah. On the
those
wireless
were.
connections, we now have 5G, Wi-Fi 6, and Bluetooth 5, which is not bad. We could have better antennas, I think, there. We got NFC, and which is pretty good as well. And as always, GPS and all that stuff.
Yeah, but that's been since the latest iPhones like that. So 5G we got on the 12, and all the other things had been around longer. So yeah, I think that's enough for the iPhones. Oh wait, did I mention they got A15? We've recorded so
No, we
many
did
times.
not.
I don't know if we mentioned this on this time or not. But yeah, it
It's
got
like
a,
the main update.
they got the new processor, the A15 Bionic, the world's fastest smartphone chip, 5-core GPU, yeah, super fast neural engine, and all the things. So yeah,
Pretty good,
pretty
basically.
good. Like Apple says, is the best on the market right now, and yeah, that's quite nice.
Yeah.
And
We also got the 15-watt MagSafe charging, which is
with
pretty bad
USB-C, I
for
think,
wireless
right?
charging. I'm not sure, but we got 15 watts for MagSafe charging, which is wireless but not so wireless, which is 15 watts is not as good as other competitors' flagships, which already have like 20, 25, 30 watts of wireless charging,
Well,
and
that's
only I think it's
I
20
saw a
watts or
video
25 watts.
explaining all these things, not just in the wireless section, but in the wired section. As for example, you saw that Xiaomi, I think, released a phone that charged with 120 watts, and so it could in under 30 minutes charge completely. But what Apple has always been doing is uh, keeping the health of the battery always at its best. So it mostly slow down the processor so that the battery doesn't get damaged. I don't know, Apple puts a lot of thought into the battery safety and health, which maybe other companies don't.
Yeah, but you anyways have like
Yeah, still.
lose a lot of battery health in the time, and you lose very much speed. But anyways, 20 or 25 watts wired charging is not that good, and you can charge your phone fast and safely without damaging the battery. That's a fact. You can see it on every single flagship there is on the Android side.
Yeah,
Everyone
well, no.
charges more than 25 watts. And
Uh,
the main part of this, they still got lighting connector.
that's true. But it's
They
not
have not.
because they don't want to, because in the iPad section they've been switching since what, 2 3 years. It's because Apple has a lot of accessories that run with lightning that are compatible with the iPhone, and if they would give up on it, they would be giving up on a lot of money and patents and products. So that's the reason that why they don't change to USB-C on iPhone.
Yeah, let's hope they change it soonly because
it will be very convenient because it's a lot
yeah.
faster. Yeah, well, we got another Apple Watch Series 7, but I think we don't want to get into details, but bigger screen, more resistant screen, charger with USB-C, and other things, but it's not that relevant. What it's more relevant, I would say, is the new iPad mini. It's also with the A15 Bionic. It's like a mini iPad Air 4 from the design. You got the Apple Pencil second generation that plugs directly onto the side
Magnetically?
and you can charge it. And what I found very weird is that you have the volume upper side.
Buttons?
Yeah, and the upper side near the power button and the fingerprint scanner, you have the volume buttons. So it's a very strange design, but yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's laid on the side without touching anything. Maybe it's
Yeah.
that.
Or maybe for leaving room
But
for the pencil. I don't know. And it has 5G. If
we
you
don't
want
know.
to have the cellular version, you have 5G.
And there, I'm seeing this on the Apple page. There are actually some models in which you can put a nano SIM card. So
Yeah.
that's pretty good. You got a phone, a very big phone now, which doubles as an iPad
I
mini.
think you
So
can't
yeah,
make calls with it, but you can have internet anywhere. So that's
yeah.
the
You can
point of it.
FaceTime. It's basically the
Yeah.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
On the
think
iPad mini,
that's
you also got the A15 Bionic chip, which is also good for them. And you also get capability to take video up to 4K 60 FPS. So
yeah, but
pretty
let's
damn
be
good for an
honest,
iPad
who
mini.
is filming with their iPad?
Haven't you seen all these Karens who film with their iPads? There's lots of them.
Yeah, a lot of tourists walk around with their iPads taking
Yeah.
photos everywhere. But yeah, and we got a new iPad base model, the cheapest one, $300, 320. I think it has a 12 or a 13. I don't remember very well, but it's just the cheapest version got updated, and it's always very
A13
convenient.
Bionic
Yeah,
chip. A13.
yeah. So
So it's 2 gens back, but not bad.
uh, it's still quicker than the best Android tablet. So
We'll not get into that discussion
yeah.
yet.
Okay, I
But
think that's enough for the Apple event, right?
yeah, Apple,
Now,
we
now
got
we go
two
over to
more.
Canon.
Yeah.
So,
So on the Canon side, it's the Canon R3. It's pretty similar to the past 1DX Mark III on the form factor, but the size, weight, quality, and everything else is very different.
yeah, so now we got a full frame stacked back illuminated sensor that can shoot 24 megapixel photos and 30 frames per second burst rate. So you can take 30 photos in 1 second, and I've seen some videos you have like 100% hit rate. So every photo will be in focus, and when you do longer bursts, maybe one or two will be out of focus, but the hit rate, it's pretty amazing. Almost every time 100%. Yeah, that's very nice. And something
Yeah.
that's very
You
innovative is that you can now focus with your eyes. Have you heard that before?
so basically where you look at on the
EVF?
um thing, yeah, on the EVF is where the camera will focus. On the videos I've seen, at least, they say it takes a lot
Oh
of
yeah,
time
like 50 minutes.
get that calibrated, to get that calibrated mostly.
But once it's
But
set
then
up,
they
it's
say
pretty
it
amazing.
works.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for sports, mostly. You don't have to be moving the camera all around or with the buttons there. You don't have to mess around and you press something wrong. You just look at it and it's already in focus.
Yeah, you got a specific switch also for focus. Now you have the typical joystick, and now you got an extra autofocus switch, or I don't know how it's called, but every time you get more joysticks like that, it's kind of funny. The video resolution is
Yeah,
pretty amazing too, 4K 120 and 6K 60 RAW.
yeah, that is brutal, actually,
Well,
for a
it's still
camera
not
this
8K, but
price,
it's
actually.
it's pretty amazing.
But a camera this size, this price, this battery life, this no overheating,
No, like
and
in the
that
R5.
quality, it's pretty good.
Uh,
It's pretty good.
pretty good.
Guys,
Um,
if you cannot imagine this camera, just Google it. And if you still can imagine it, it's basically a mashup between the Canon EOS 1DX Mark III
and the
and the
R5.
R5. It's
Well,
basically a
the
mashup
resolution it's
of
not the
those
same,
two.
but still. And well, the competitor of this camera, it's more the Sony A9 because Nikon hasn't released a compatible camera in the mirrorless sector till now. The Z9 is expected for this year, but I don't know. Maybe we'll get it, maybe not. But the A9 is like the main target because the A1 it's another
It's
step
another
up
level.
because you have 50 megapixel photos and you still can do I think 30 fps burst, so that's amazing.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing. And finally, lots of us were expecting this to be in this camera is a flip up screen.
Yeah,
So you can now flip the screen. It's not at 180 degrees,
yeah,
like
it's like a
laying
little bit
flat
less.
with the body.
That annoys
It's a
some of
little
the
bit bent
YouTubers
with,
I've heard, but
yeah, they
it is
say it
like
can
that.
be a little upsetting because you have to move a little the camera and compensate. It's kind of weird to imagine, but it's not the best way, but you at least you got it.
Yeah,
On the 1DX, you
and
didn't get it.
yeah, guys, we want to remind you we do not own any of these cameras, so sometimes we will get something wrong with all these major league cameras because we don't got them, so excuse us if we got
Yeah.
something wrong.
Don't forget, you can always write us, and we will accept any camera this price you want to gift us. We won't have any problem with that. So
Yeah,
yeah, don't hesitate on sending us expensive cameras. We will always accept them.
every gift is welcomed.
Yeah. So, and to finish this episode, the last important um, product
Product.
is the new GoPro Hero 10. It's a real beast actually for the price. Here on the page is 459 990 Chilean pesos. I don't know why
Well, for me it
I'm on the
says it's
Chilean page.
429 euros here in Germany.
Yeah, let me go on the it's basically $399, so
Dollars. Yeah.
$400. And that's for now, but it says it's actually $550. It's
So well,
now
the
on discount.
specs of this camera are the new processor GP2, I think it's called. That and this processor allows the camera to film up to 5.3K in 60 FPS. Imagine that. 4K 120. We got the new Hyper Smooth 4.0 stabilization and like always 10 meters underneath water resistance
Without a case.
without a case, exactly. And yeah, it's pretty amazing what I've seen so far in videos.
They say
gets,
they also made the low light capabilities better,
yeah,
so
that
that's another
wasn't
plus.
actually.
And
GoPros always had that problem. They weren't that good in low light.
yeah, let's hope they are better now. Remember, we don't own the GoPro. I
Yeah,
hope so,
I
but we
know.
don't.
I own a Hero 7 Black, and it's alright, but it does the job, but it's not amazing in low light. But in the other things,
Yeah,
I like it. Well, now we got
yeah,
23 megapixels. It's an upgrade from 12. And yeah,
yeah. On the Hypersmooth 4.0, it's also important to mention that we now have got a system. I'm not sure what it's called, but a system in which you can turn the camera up to 45 degrees, I think, pointing at you, for example, and it basically won't change. You will still be straight with the horizon and stuff. So little bit more than 45 degrees, then you will start moving. But so you can shake the camera very much and it will stay pretty much at the same level.
yeah. Well, now with this camera, you got like in the Hero 9 this lens mode or media mode. You can put external microphones, lights, and so on onto the GoPro with this case. And you of course have the front display to see what you're doing, and you can stream directly out of GoPro in connection with your phone to apps like YouTube, Twitch, and other ones.
Yeah. On the on the lower side of the GoPro, on the downside, like no, on the lower side, you also got two foldable mounts, so you don't have now to put a case on it actually to put it
Well,
anywhere.
that was
So
in
you
the
got
Hero
it
9 case,
included in the
the
body.
case also.
Yeah. But you got it here, and underneath that you got an extra speaker. So we got two speakers on this GoPro.
Yep.
But I hope more like the volume is updated because before it was not as good. At least on the Hero 9 or 8, I think it was.
Yeah,
So
so I
yeah,
think we've had enough for this episode.
we've had enough.
Uh,
Yeah,
so yeah,
I hope
thanks
you enjoyed this.
for hearing, for listening, and hope to see you or talk to you soon.
So,
Bye.
bye guys. Have a good one.
Bye bye.